Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to talk about potholes, and I bet you're thinking, I wondered when he was going to get around to potholes. Well, now's the time. And I'm going to tell you why I believe, this is my opinion, why I believe the government loves potholes. So click like and subscribe to the comment below if you want to about this on this video. But going to talk about the old pothole subject, that thing that everybody seems to be moaning about in Britain at the moment, and quite rightly so, because if ever you've driven abroad in Europe, through France, anywhere like that, the potholes, they don't have potholes basically. The roads, especially in France, I drive in France quite a lot, and the roads are like billiard tables. They're so different to the UK. And I think we've just become conditioned to having potholes in this country. We just, you know, we're so used to them now that they're just commonplace. We just go, well, yeah, we know about potholes, but they're there. That's part of life. And what happens with potholes is just some horrendous ones around. Absolutely massive potholes that split tyres, buckle wheels, knock your tracking out. And of course, what happens is, most people, they go onto Facebook and they go on there and they're on their local community groups, their local, you know, if they're on an estate or in a town or whatever, and they all have a jolly good old moan about a pothole that's on such and such road. But that's basically all they do about it. They don't actually go onto the council website and find the report a pothole section. Every council's got them, where you can go on and you can actually drop a pin as to where the pothole is. And of course, the more people report the pothole, eventually 6 or 8 months later they'll get repaired, or should I say bodged, because generally what happens is a contractor comes along, and I was told once they get paid £42 on average per pothole to repair a pothole, bodge a pothole. And what they do is, because of health and safety, you know, they have to pull a van up on the side of the road, one of these flatbed transit things with a pile of asphalt on the back, and so what they do is the guys jump out in their high-vis jackets and they just want to get the pothole filled and out of the way as quickly as possible, for health and safety reasons. So what they do is they come along, they get a bucket of tarmac, they tip it in a pothole that they haven't even swept, full of debris, they haven't swept any of that out, they haven't prepared it properly. They tip a bucket of tarmac in, they stamp it down with their foot, and they're gone. £42 in the pocket, thank you very much. Drive away, the pothole's bodged. The first few bits of rain, we get the bad weather. The rain's in the hole again. Car tyres go over it. The hydraulic pressure of the tyres hitting the hole. Within no time at all, it's out again. And of course, they're back again for another £42. But there's a very good reason why the government are not addressing the pothole issue in this country. As I said before, everybody's moaning about them. It's a hot topic. I personally have had, last November, on one vehicle, I had 2 split tyres in one incident. I hit a pothole late at night on a country lane. It was dark, it was wet, it was in Shropshire, it was 110 miles from home. Both near side tyres went down within about 300 yards, and I was stranded for 2 hours, 40 minutes, while I waited for a mobile tyre fitter to come and replace 2 new tyres for me. It was a hoop jumping process to claim the £400 back off Shropshire County Council, because they make it that way. They don't want you to claim. They basically look at their budget for pothole repairs and they say, right, potholes are going to cost us, say, £3 million to repair. So what they do is they put 2 junior clerks in a working from home, probably, at the end of an email address. And their job is to field away as many claims as they can by making it difficult for people to claim. And in my case, they wanted receipts. Well, first of all, they wanted a receipt. Then they said it wasn't good enough. It had to be an invoice with all the vehicle details written on that invoice, which I didn't have. But I went back to the tyre fitter and he gladly just did me a new invoice with all those details on there. So I sent that in. And then they were about in the latest MOT, there was an advisory on the front tyre. That was like 5 months ago. That tyre would have gone by now, so we need to see an invoice for that tyre as well. Anyway, it was a very long process. And the more they made it difficult, the more determined I was to get my money, which I did. But it took 3 months to get that money. So this is the point I was making, is that the government, there's no rush to repair potholes, because they cost the government money to repair, but they're actually costing us money to repair, because we pay a massive amount of duty on road fund licence, duty on fuel, etc., which should cover all the pothole repairs in the country, but they don't, because that money, we all know, goes sideways. It goes into other things. But the reason I believe the government are not repairing the potholes as they should do is because they're actually a traffic calming measure. I've actually heard people say to me, two people actually have said to me, because I've clients that I've got, I drive, I've got a private hire business, so I drive people to and from airports. And these two people said to me, two independent people said to me, oh, we don't go out at night now in a car, especially if it's raining, because we're afraid of hitting a pothole. And as well as the two tyres I had split, I had 3 run flats on one particular car I had to replace in the course of a month. They were on the big 20-inch turbines with low-profile run flats. Other drivers were out in the car. And on 3 occasions in a month, I had bulging sidewalls in the tyres where they'd hit a pothole and the sidewalls are bulging. Now, the guy at the garage said to me, they're perfectly fine. They're really strong tyres. They won't split, but I can't have that, not on a private hire vehicle, so I replaced them all. And they were £210 each. But the other reason, and this is the more valid point, and this is what I'm getting at with potholes and the government, is that why would the government repair potholes in a timely manner like they should do when they can actually make money from potholes? Now, I know you think that's probably, you're thinking, how does that work? For every tyre that gets replaced, for every realignment of tracking, for every cracked alloy, for every replaced alloy, there's VAT on all of those figures. So the government are earning money through all the VAT, and they're earning money through the fitter's income tax, if it's a limited company, they've got corporation tax and all the rest of it to pay. So there's a lot of taxation on that. Plus also, when you drive your car to the fitting bay to get 2 new tyres, you're using your fuel as well. So they're getting duty on the fuel, they're getting the VAT on the fuel. So they're making a hell of a lot of money out of potholes. So that's why they're not going to repair them, not going to rush to repair them. And that's my opinion. So I'd love your comments below if you can think there's other reasons why they're not repairing them. I'd love to hear that. And while you're there, subscribe to the channel. And if you can like this video, that would be great. Thank you very much.